We all want the frameworks for wealth, productivity, and peace of mind. Usually, that level of insight costs you, either in expensive courses, premium audiobook subscriptions, or stacks of hardcovers. But there is a library hiding in plain sight that costs absolutely 0 rupees. It's the IS Soundar Tamil Audiobook Archive, available entirely as a free podcast. The catalog spans a wide spectrum. You can jump from modern Silicon Valley business strategy straight into the depths of ancient Eastern mysticism. If you want to understand asset allocation and cash flow, you can listen to complete readings of financial heavyweights like Robert Kiyosaki. Or, if you need to step away from the daily grind, you can switch gears to the philosophical reflections of Osho. The real value here is language access. These are complex, global concepts translated and read directly in native Tamil, bringing high-level ideas to an audience that might otherwise be limited by a language barrier. But there is a serious catch. The user experience of this archive is unoptimized and demands high levels of patience. You aren't paying with cash, but you are paying with your time. The challenge is determining if the learning curve of actually navigating this library is worth the investment. Take a look at the podcast feed. Instead of descriptive titles, you get episodes named with single letters like N, random keystrokes like MJ, or just Part 1 with 0 context. Behind a title that simply says Part 1, you might find the full Tamil translation of a global bestseller like The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. You don't know until you hit play. Then there is the actual audio structure. These are raw file dumps. There are no chapter markers, no timestamps in the descriptions, and no easy way to skip to a specific idea. This diagram compares a standard 45-minute podcast episode to what you'll find here. Some files in this archive run for over 10 hours in a single, unbroken audio stream. If you dive in blindly, the friction will lead to frustration. To extract value, you need a targeted strategy based on your specific life goals. Let's look at your first option, the Wealth and Efficiency Curriculum. This path holds the classics of personal optimization, featuring authors like Napoleon Hill and Brian Tracy. Tracy's work is a prime example of this genre. It focuses on structured goal setting, sales tactics, and time management. To get through one of these books, you are looking at 3 to 4 hours of active listening. You have to pay close attention as the narrator works through dense, translated business terminology. Put in the work, and you gain financial literacy and optimization frameworks you can apply immediately. But there is a gap you have to bridge yourself. These are Western-centric economic concepts. Because you don't have visual charts from a printed book, you have to manually map these American corporate strategies onto the local Tamil reality. Your second option is the deep spiritual and philosophical dive. This section includes detailed guides on Vipassana meditation, the reflections of J. Krishnamurti, and sprawling multi-part readings of David Curl. It also holds dedicated readings covering the life and teachings of Sri Ramana Maharshi. The input here requires endurance. Expect 2 to 5 hours of listening as the narrator navigates abstract philosophical Tamil phrasing. The result is mental clarity and a sense of grounding in traditional cultural thought that helps manage daily stress. But the lack of chapters actively works against you. Files like David Curl Part 1 are 2-hour solid blocks of audio. If you lose your place, you will spend minutes manually scrubbing through the timeline. That friction shatters the exact meditative state you came to achieve. The final path is the macro-intellectual epics, dominated by works like Yuval Noah Harari's Homo Deus. Succeeding here requires extreme listener stamina and dedication. Part 1 of Homo Deus alone is a single, unbroken audio file lasting 10 hours and 30 minutes. If you finish it, you walk away with a comprehensive understanding of human history and technological futurism. But there is a technical danger. Basic podcast apps often struggle with files this large and can wipe your progress if the app closes in the background. To navigate this path, treat it like a formal college course. You will need to keep external notes and manually track your own timestamps. The IS Soundar archive represents a specific digital trade-off. It provides massive accessibility to information that is otherwise difficult to find, but it remains a challenge to navigate. This friction is not intentional. It is the result of a single creator providing a vast amount of work for free without the resources for post-production optimization. This framework maps out how to approach the archive based on your listening tolerance. For optimizers with under 3 hours, head toward the business category. Stick to shorter tracks and take phone notes to compensate for missing chapters and retain key frameworks. If you're a seeker with unlimited time, take the path to the philosophy and epics categories. Dive into the 10-hour epics, but strictly manage your progress. Log your exact timestamp when pausing to avoid losing your place. Ultimately, an audiobook's impact is measured by how its ideas are implemented in your life, rather than the simple act of listening to the file. Do not let the friction of a poorly labeled MP3 deter you. By going in prepared and curating your own experience, you gain access to decades of expertise entirely for free.